Okay, welcome back to the 2016 Pudsey Classic. Apologies to anybody who's having trouble picking us up. We've had some technical difficulties, but hopefully they're over and done with now. You're joining us at the quarter-final stages, where we've got Gary Ellis playing Danny Towning. Gary Ellis, the red-hot favourite. He's all but 14 up. Graham Wilson playing Mr. Riley. Mr. Riley, what's his first name? I'm joined here by Scott Fisher, who, having thrown his bowls over the fence, being a first round loser, he's now calmed down. And any fancy, Scott?
Ashley Dakin's playing rather well. Previous winner.
Yeah, tough competitor.
He's a battler.
And it's an interesting one, isn't it, really, because Wayne Ditchfield were engaged in the toughest game of the night. The crowd expected when he drew Callum, and it really didn't end up being much of a game, did it, Scott?
No, it didn't live up to what we thought. But you've got to give a lot of credit to Wayne Ditchfield on the way he played these corners. He led exceptionally well, going one way.
Do you think sometimes it's a disadvantage to have too easy a first game? Because he didn't really learn much about the green, rather than just this big thumb peg mark up to this corner where we're stood in, and then finger peg down at the bottom. And Ashley's he's a wily old soul, isn't he? He's taking him all round the green, isn't he?
He is. He's sort of cutting the green up to Wayne. Playing up to middles, just over at tops, and he's like again here. He's caught him with length a little bit. But going back to, can you have an easier game in first game? I don't think you can when you're playing somebody like Callum. You play somebody like Callum and you have the run. He had a 12 break against him in corners, and he's ended up beating him pretty comfortable. So that beating somebody of Callum's calibre, like he did, and the manner, it's got to give you confidence. You might not play a lot of the green, but at the same time, your confidence got to be high. And just as Ashley's shaking hands with him, Ashley's beating him 21-9.
So that's Wayne Ditchfield romps on 21-8 against Callum Ray and only scores 9 in his next game. We've got Andrew Sykes through.
Andrew Sykes through again, just quietly going about his business. Playing tidy, just getting through his games, and a lot of eyes are on other people, and these are the dangerous ones. We've just got Danny Towning coming back into the game here against Gary Ellis here, all but 16 to Gary, but a bit of noise for Danny here.
Yeah, he's in a harder bowl to play on the circuit and get a 5 breaker than against Gary Ellis.
Well, there's not many, but the conditions tonight and a bit of wind, and you get a good lead up, it's there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and it's not easy to answer them on here.
He's played well, young Danny, hasn't he? I mean, he's a prestigious talent. A lot of people know him locally, and when he's on his game, he puts them close, doesn't he, Scott?
He does put them close, and for a change, I've known Danny for a long time now, and tonight he's come playing with a bit of belief, and I've felt it firsthand. He's after this ball here, and it's going very near in these full corners, thumb pegged at top corner.
And it's funny when you listen to the crowd here. There's obviously a couple of people shouting for the money. So Gary Ellis being the 2-1 favourite, you would expect the majority of the crowd have actually had a little investment on him. But then the locals are all on Danny's side.
Gary's played a real ball here.
And that's the class of the man, I suppose.
It's a difference of you've got Gary 2-1 favourite to win the comp, and you've got Danny 2-1 on the heat just to beat Gary. But it hasn't played like that.
No, a big 20-1 shot at the start of the tournament with Danny. But his whole future in the comp lies on this bowl.
And he's reached. And he's gone topside.
But he's done himself proud tonight, hasn't he? He's done himself proud.
He's played exceptionally well, and he's nothing to be disappointed about at all. 21-16, Gary Ellis.
And then we have Graham Wilson, who just sneaked now to an 18-9 victory. I don't
Have
suppose...
we not mentioned Graham
Graham, I
tonight?
know.
Sorry.
Well, he's still relatively new at the game, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's quietly going about his business as well.
So, Graham, I don't think he put this down as one of his favourite greens. The wind, I don't think it's getting any stronger. But as most of us know, the longer he's on the green, the closer he seems to get to the jack, does Graham, doesn't he?
He's only going to get better wherever he's on the green. Graham's one of these players that he only plays to a block. He don't play to anything round the green. You know, he's playing his man, and he's putting him near.
And I suppose, without any disrespect to the other two bowlers that'll appear in the semi-final, a lot of this crowd would love to see a GI Gary Ellis final.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure Graham's won this before, has he?
I don't think he has. I think you're right there, Scott. I don't think he has.
So I think Graham will have a bit of a following if he gets through this game. He's currently 18-9 up with Kevin Riley in the full corners. A reasonably good ball that's just been beat by Kevin.
Yeah, that's a good ball. It's a good ball. Just hung on there.
Just hung on the edge. Graham's looking like he might play it. Just
Michael
asking.
Holding shouting that it's 10 inch short. Not a bad ball. Not a bad ball.
It's not too bad, no. Yes, he's played a runner as Graham. He's watching it. Still watching it. Looks a good road, does this? Done the ball full.
What a ball. What a ball.
Left himself laying one.
Even that old stalwart Mike Holding puts his hand together for that ball.
That must have been some hard ball to play if Mr. Holden was there clapping his hands.
Yeah, don't give praise easy, does he? Don't give praise
not
easy.
very easily. I knew that when I came off green.
Has he reached? Has he reached?
It looks
far
so
enough?
reached. Is it going to stop?
What a good
Great ball.
What a
Two
good
great
ball.
balls from Kevin, just counting the one. So we now go to 10-18, that last game on the green. Kevin Riley v Graham Wilson. Graham Wilson 18-10 in front.
So currently we're looking at a semi-final between Gary Ellis and Andrew Sykes. Gary will be a big favourite on the book on that game, I would think, Scott.
I'd think Gary would be a rather big favourite just with his previous on this green. But you can never write Mr. Sykes off. He's always there about, and he's a competitor. He will always be around.
And then two teammates of yours in the Yorkshire County side. If things go as we plan, it looks like Graham's the favourite to go through in this game, but I'm not writing Kevin off yet. Graham against Ashley.
It's a tough one to call. It's for me. That's going to be a game of two lengths. It's going to be a game of breaks for me. I think Graham's certainly going to head for the corners, and I think Ashley's certainly got his one mark that he's liked, and I've seen him play in previous years when he's won the competition, just playing towards a big Pudsey bowling club stand.
Yeah, I remember doing the commentating with Keith Hatcher about 3 years ago, and what Keith highlighted was that it's quite a shallow finger peg, but to turn over the other way, it's quite difficult to get anywhere near the jack. It
is. Being an ex-member here, I can tell you that firsthand. It's not as plain as it looks. You've got a big peg on the finger, and if you're wanting to turn the wheel on the thumb, you think just give it some to drop, but it don't always work like that. It tries to stay up, or you can easily go underneath. And just as we're talking about this, Jimmy, I believe that's a pair to Kevin Riley, going 12-18. He's played this middle well all night. Yeah, and we run the danger of writing Kevin off too early here. I mean, 12-18, nobody ever won a game with 18. Absolutely not. And the way he's racked up quite a number of points without reply on this mark over the middle in his previous games. And he's played another good lead here. It's a great lead. Yeah, side of the block, Jimmy. And I think he's got Graham too big, like he has all night with everybody. The left against right. Left against right, yeah, I was just going to say, Scott. He has. Chance to make another pair here.
Might be a mistake here to put one too near, Scott, because I think Graham might get the hammer out if he puts one at side of this.
It's one of them, you try and not be too near, but there's a few gaps there, but there's things to sit on.
He's going to play with weight. I suppose he's got 3 chances, isn't he? Worst scenario is that he only takes one out.
Providing he hits, Jimmy. And he's gone through the gap.
Incredible.
Just as you were saying, Jimmy.
Yeah, 14-18.
Game on here, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't think Graham will be too concerned at the moment. I mean, he's got a vast amount of experience. Kevin, I suppose, is relaxed. It'd be interesting if Kevin arms starts to tighten up if they go 18 apiece.
It could get that way, Jimmy. On this mark across the middle, he's played very well all night. Very well.
And does this green slope as you go through the night? Another good lead.
It's a very good lead, just as we're talking about that, Jimmy. The green does. Has Graham turned the peg here, Jimmy?
I think he has, yeah.
He's turned the peg here. He's gone the finger.
And he's nearly bowled an absolute hooker.
It's a great effort, whatever, Jimmy. I think it might have just fallen out.
Yeah, looks a ball short. Certainly, Kevin hasn't asked the referee to come in.
He's followed him in here, is Kevin. Well, it's he's got a shot here, is Graham. Just getting to the head.
He's going to be far enough. We know that he's going to be far enough, and I think it's goodbye.
Oh, it's a tremendous hit by Graham to leave himself a pair. All but 14.
The wry smile on Kevin's face there, as if he almost expected the inevitable there.
It was one of them there, Jimmy, where you laid one good one. They're all within 5 inch. Kevin couldn't come to make a pair, but Graham's got the shot to, bid up, and anything could happen. Kevin, his second ball, he didn't have anything to play with really.
So you're almost saying that the favourite to win the end was a fella who didn't have the nearest ball.
Yeah, in a sense, Jimmy, if it makes any sense.
Yeah. This sounds like 2 Irish commentators, by the way, but I'm sure you get where we're coming from.
Not the best lead from Graham at all, but yeah. Well, it's certainly not to be sniffed at. Kevin's reached. Played a good ball, as Kevin.
I mean, there's still room for somebody of GI's ability here to put one inside there, but he's got to be careful that he does get something in the end here.
Is he over the top here, Jimmy?
I'm not sure if he might win it with length, Scott.
Correct.
Biggest guesser in the game, me, Scott. Biggest guesser in the game.
Not a bad pairing, me and you then, Jim. he's a bit up here, is Kevin.
He's looking for a wink, but
he's had a wink, but to no avail. Graham Wilson, 21-14.
So that leaves us now with the semi-finalists of the game's number 1, Gary Ellis against Andrew Sykes. And for many people, the game's number 2, Graham Wilson against Ashley Dakin. So we'll join you again shortly, but we're expecting 2 really, really close semi-finals. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. We'll look forward to this.
we switched on?
That looks like on to me.
Yeah.
Good evening everybody and welcome to the 2016 Northern Trade Windows Pudsey Classic, and we're at the semi-final stage with Gary Ellis from Whitefield playing Andrew Sykes from Murfield in the first semi-final. I'm joined by Jack Dyson, my co-commentator for the evening. Hello Jack.
Hello Michael. Yep, here we are. Very wet and windy August evening at Pudsey.
Yes, here we go, and we've started off with Ellis leading out, and he's got 2 at the first end against Andrew Sykes. And the other semi-final, which will be going on shortly, will be Graham Wilson from Audenshaw playing Ashley Dakin from Netherton, one of Jack's teammates.
Yep. Player with good records on this green, winning the Pudsey Classic in 2013, beating Gary Ellis in the final. Possibility of a repeat of that final, Mike?
Yes, you're right there, but if Ashley's going to get there, he's going to have to beat one of the game's best to play the game's best.
That's correct. Could be 2 interesting games in Prosper here.
Exactly. Now Gary is looking to see who's in. They're looking to see, they're not sure. They might be having a measure on it.
Just the one signalled, so that's a 3-0 advantage to Gary Ellis with Jack in hand.
Yes, it looks like Gary's going to be playing this 23-24 yard mark. Thumb peg over the crown, just over the middle of the green. Because Andrew has got a tendency to be sending the jack a long way generally when he plays.
Yeah, I mean the main feature of this evening, Mike, has been the gusty wind, which has caused a lot of problems for all the bowlers.
It has, Jack. And the squally rain, it's coming down in fits and starts.
Yep.
Ellis has led one about 12 inches short. Sykes has just run through. I think it might have just stayed in. Referee Michael Rhodes is going to have a look.
I like the short one. However, Andrew's not wasting any time.
Now, he's walking up to have a look if Michael's not sure. He likes the short, and he says.
Everyone's coming to have a look.
Andrew says
no.
Gary's in.
So he's gone back. Similar ball required to pair up.
Now it's on the way. Andrew got this far by beating Kevin Shaw from West Norton first game, and then Kieran Dodd from Lancaster second game. 2 good wins for Andrew. Gary's paired them both up.
Yeah, and Gary of course has beaten Gareth Lally from Crossgates in the first round, and has just beaten another good young bowler in Danny Towning from the local Whitkirk area. So he's played 2 youngsters from the area, and now he's playing a stalwart of Yorkshire, Andrew Sykes, who's been knocking around for a long time, Mike, and won his fair share in the game.
He certainly has. Not only is he a good player, he's also an organiser of competitions, running the Murfield Old Bank 2-man team events. Andrew got this far by beating Jack Hargreaves 21-20, Graham Flicker Hickey 21-4, and James Davison, the Yorkshire away team captain, 21-14.
What was that second result again? Graham Hickey?
Graham Hickey got a marvellous 4. I think he might have spread them around. I don't think he got them all in 2 ends.
Just misheard you on that one.
I hope Graham's not heard that.
He knows I'm only teasing.
1 to Ellis. Now 4 without Ellis leads.
So meanwhile on this other game, just a few minutes. Wilson just picked up another single there.
And they're dropping him out of an helicopter. Graham would have been disappointed with that last ball of his. 2-1 Daking leads.
Wilson on the cards will probably be looking to stretch out into these corners, Michael.
Yeah, that's Graham's forte as far as I'm concerned, sending them a distance and putting them very, very near. Gary got this far in the earlier rounds by beating James Wilcock 21-17, John McDonald 21-12 and Craig Newton 21-13. So reasonably comfortable wins for Gary. And now he's played a good one here, he's rectified his first.
He's a man with form on the green as well. Gary's always knocking about in this tournament, isn't he?
Yes, yes he is. He's a hard man to beat anywhere.
Andrew just playing up, just slipping through. Another two to Ellis. Extends his lead to 6-0.
Gary will just wait now while Ashley sends this ball across him. Very sporting in that respect is Gary. Back again, thumb peg over the crown.
Just settling for this mark, just clipping the crown, I think, Mike, on a round peg.
Yeah,
just clipping the edge of it and just shallowing out into a bit of a basin, Mark, just to try and control the ball.
It's all lush green grass where the jack is as well.
That's right, just steadying it at the end, and he's playing a sensible game just to try and get balls close and make Andrew beat them. Andrew's just having to force up just to pass them now. He's been unlucky there, gave it a good chance, but he's now pushed Gary, I think, near enough a side toucher up now.
Yeah, but he's probably in a better position for him now because it's visible jack on ball to try and play the same ball and run it out.
Yep. It's a good pair. It's two good balls. Definite runner on the cards now. Only a foot of room.
I'll be amazed if he doesn't play well over. He's watching it. He's watching it, Jack.
Perfect ball. Split him and stopped.
Real ball that from Sykes to get him on the score sheet.
Yes, it were a good ball by Andrew there.
Right way.
Yeah, we laid 8-0 down there, Mike, wasn't they?
Yes, it was looking very dark for him without us in that connection.
Jack in hand, he might just need to find a lead here, and I suspect he'll be going to this top corner where this top gate corner is, and try and stretch it out a little bit.
Well, as everybody knows, when you're playing Gary, he's not gone into the corner, he's gone to 8 or 9 yards out of it. You've got to put him near when you're playing Gary, I'm afraid. He doesn't let you get away with much rubbish.
No, he doesn't.
And this isn't the best ball Andrew's ever sent.
No, I think he's just frightened himself with that jack going so close to the edge. I mean, it's probably got within 2 yards as it's finished, but
yeah,
it's certainly nothing after the jack, Mike.
No, you're right. And Gary's played on the side of caution. Yes. If it stopped, it's an absolute reeling.
Is it gonna?
Just needs to stop now. It's hit the white bit. Probably an inch too far. Now then, can Andrew put a nail in the coffin here and put a decent one on?
He certainly needs to run.
No, it's not as good as his first. Now, Gary needs to take a foot out at least. Wants to run.
He's after it. He's certainly running after it.
Wants to run, Jack.
Is he struggling to land?
He's brought it up 2 yards up the green and
no, it's left them both. So they're just niggling balls as it happened. That was at Andrew Sykes.
That first one scared him to death.
So Andrew now 3-6 behind, leading out, stretching the game out down towards the club. Finger peg under the crown. Nothing for underneath. Looking to put a close bowl up, get a bit of pressure on Gary. He's probably
Got a long way to run. Further it goes, the better.
well,
Going to be 4 foot short. Can Gary get past it? He's just going to get underneath it, I think. He's got a long way underneath it.
Andrew needs to really punish it now. If he beats his own by a couple of foot, he'll be good.
Yeah, and he's on a good road, Jack.
And he's certainly further, mate.
Yeah, I think he's got a good one here.
Well played, Andrew. Good bowls. Keep the pressure on.
Well, Gary's rectified it. I'll tell you that, Jack.
Certainly far enough.
Has it stopped?
Very difficult to tell from here what's.
Body language isn't saying anything.
No.
Andrew's in, I think.
Yeah, he's
He's very nonchalantly stood there.
Yes, two. Another two.
That's a.
So all of a sudden, Mike, at two ends with the block, and Andrew's back in this game.
Yeah.
5.
There's me saying he doesn't get away with rubbish, and he's got away with 3 out of the last 4 balls that have been poor.
Well, you must just be a guesser, Michael.
You're probably right.
So he's leading out this thumb peg mark into the far corner again. Not quite full corners, just a 3/4 mark.
He's going to give him a bit of a chance again.
Yeah, he's just not quite reached
Big
again.
yard off.
You'd
You would expect Gary to get in.
He's watching it. No.
He looks underneath to me.
He's just
Got to do some pegging quick. It's a dead length.
I assume that'll have won it.
Well, Michael Rhodes was nodding his head now. I'm not sure whether he was nodding to say he'd won it or nodding to say Andrew was in. I think Gary's in, personally. And that's gone out.
He's overcompensated, and Gary's coming for a 2 now.
Yeah, Gary's in. He's coming for 2. Wants to run now, Jack. This wants to run on odds. He might just get down that hill to sneak past it.
Yeah. Not sure. Either way.
Yeah, they've kicked him
Yes, that's it too. Gary's now got the jack in his control, so will he play a similar sort of mark?
I think he'll come down this edge, Jack, to where we're stood.
Wrong again.
Am I wrong? Or is he
Wrong
going
again.
down the
Top
other edge
is
where
it?
Graham is?
Top edge to scoreboards to try and get in. You're right. He's turned back.
He's toying with us.
He's just.
He can't. I think he'd go down there if Graham's not in.
Yeah. All is forgiven, Michael. Correct.
Yeah.
First verdict was correct.
He likes to have us on the guessing game.
We're playing a round peg mark here up the edge.
Yeah, it's just going down the middle hill there, and Gary's left it on the top of the hill.
Yeah, good 4 foot shot that. Andrew needs to really punish this lead. First ball.
I'd be very surprised if Andrew doesn't beat it.
It's not going to be the best bowl, but it's certainly won it.
Yeah.
I expect Gary to beat that back.
Ashley's just played the jack under Gary's feet. Well, there's Gary's second ball at the end.
Certainly here.
Yeah.
Certainly
just
here.
wants to peg now.
Certainly here.
Just stayed in.
Just the road that let Andrew down with his first ball.
And he's the same again.
Certainly
same again, Jack.
He's just doing enough this time. Just going to do enough.
Just that touch inside.
Fighting it all the way. Just the pegging at the end. Just the one.
One for Sykes. 6 Sykes, 8 Ellis. As we go. The other game is Wilson winning 6-3.
I think Wilson's laying one here. Coming for another. Looks like a 2 for Graham there, so he extends his lead to 8-3.
8-3, yes.
And
looking at the far corner is
yes,
Graham.
he'll be looking as far as the eyes can see. So joining us now, we have a guest in the commentary shed of Shropshire bowler, Callum Wright. Welcome to our little windy shed, Callum.
Good evening, Jack.
Good evening. So Callum, of course, has been beaten quite comfortably this evening by an inspired Wayne Ditchfield.
Yeah, let's not go into that, Jack.
So, and then Wayne lost his second game.
He played absolutely marvellous against me, Jack, to be honest.
Yes, he did.
And then played below par, shall we say, next game.
That's right, and that's all in the game, isn't it, Callum?
Well, that's balls for you, Jack.
It is. So what do we think about these semi-finals as they go then, Callum?
Well, before they started, pretty obviously, I tipped an Ellis Wilson final. And I still stand by that now. I think that Graham's playing the best bowls what I've seen tonight, even though somebody tells me he doesn't play the green particularly well as a rule or like it too much. But however, even though I feel he's playing the best bowls, I just still feel that Gary will find a way of winning this tournament tonight.
Well, time will tell, Callum, but of course you apply a lot of logic to that, and we shall see. The scores are just suggesting that at the minute, but it's 21 up as we all know. But they are both playing well.
Yeah, they're both in the groove, both playing. Like I say, in particular Graham's playing some good stuff. Ashley's got to try and get Graham on these shorter marks, just over the top of the crown, on some knife edges, to give himself, half a chance, really.
Keep putting balls close and keep the pressure on. But we're just saying, Callum, that the wind has been very difficult tonight, hasn't it? Blowing all over the place and difficult conditions for bowling.
I think the weather conditions have played a massive part tonight, Jack, to be honest. Not just on the green, but off the green as well. I think they've affected sort of the crowd that's turned up. I think you'd have had a lot bigger crowd here if the weather had been nicer. I think a lot more of the locals would have come out and
that's right.
watch the field, because this must be one of the best fields that this classic has turned out since it's been running. To be honest,
it's always a belting field here, but I don't think there'll be much else on in the lines. There might be an odd qualifier here and there, maybe at Spen, but normally a very good crowd here at Pudsey, and it is a shame. But
it can only be the weather that's put them off, to be honest.
That's right.
Because the standard of the field was tremendous, to be quite honest.
It's a good venue, and the green's always immaculate, isn't it?
The green it's still playing, beautiful, considering obviously the hammering it's took off the rain. It's still playing lovely, and it's still running in places, would you believe? But it's just like I say, it's just a shame. Yeah, spoilt it for Andy Hodson and the comp, really, that obviously we haven't had as many supporters here as we'd like, but also it's maybe spoilt the standard of bowling, because it's not been easy to play close bowls with.
Right.
Not just the rain, but the worst thing is the wind, and the wind has got up tonight, and it's been difficult at times.
Yeah, there's some good bowls, and then a lot of sort of what you'd call bad bowls, but that's to do with the conditions, isn't it?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, it's certainly not the standard of players, because you've still got the games number 1 and 2 in my eyes who are still on the green at the minute. So you can't have better standard of quality players here or field. So
that's right. So now we're just having a look at Graham Wilson's game. He's currently leading Ashley Dakin 9-5 and bowling down into the corner. Led 7 foot to far. Ashley needs to be getting in here and
he's gone in,
putting the pressure on, really. Graham just looking to lose a bit of running and play a length.
Yeah, he's gone 7 feet past Graham. It's easy to just shoot one past in this corner, as you know.
Like you're saying, Cal, it's still just traipsing in places, isn't
There
it?
still is, yeah. You wouldn't believe it with the amount of rain that's come on, but still just trickling on a bit.
I mean, it's rained all day yesterday, most of the day today, and the greens, like you say, beautiful.
Yeah.
Taking fire in.
Is that a do? No joy.
Rangroward. Another single to Wilson, and he extends to 10-5.
I think we know where he's going now, Jack.
Yes, he'll just be trying to navigate around Gary somehow there. He'll just be waiting till that end's complete, and away he goes.
Finger peg underneath him, or
Sure,
thumb
he'll
peg?
go thumb.
Thumb peg, you
He
think?
might go thumb and just...
I trust you, Jack.
yeah, in we go, thumb peg. Straight to that tin up. Nothing for underneath.
You know, Jack.
I've followed him many times into corners.
Me and you both, Jack.
Yes, well, I won't be the last man to have a lesson off Graham Wilson, I can assure you.
I've had a few and they're not nice, to be honest.
No, you know what you're in for at times, but Andrew Sachs has thrown the jack off. So that won't do his cause any good.
That was GI's lead going in there.
Looks rather adjacent.
Wow. I don't think that's an easy mark, really, that what he's playing there, Jack. It's easy to get underneath, isn't it?
Very difficult, yeah. It's
a fine line. I mean, you're better off being on the top.
just riding in from above. And
yeah, certainly.
But it's all pace as well. It is a long way until the last sort of 2 yards, isn't it? And it just sort of goes down at the end.
That's what catches people, as you see where Graham's playing now to the left of the corner. It's just to the left of that corner. They just slide on the last 3 yards from the edge. It's easy just to shoot off, but you've got to get them so far.
That's right. So it's a massive push for 3/4 of the journey, and with the jack being so near to the edge, it's very easy to just get tentative and leave a ball short, which is obviously what Ashley's done with his first wood. So
he's obviously played up with this one. It looks a smidge underneath to me, Jack. To be honest,
I'm sure if he's overplayed, Callum, is he far enough?
He can't win down there anyway, Jack.
He's down among dead men with this one. Yes, it's another couple.
Titanic didn't come back up, Jack.
Certainly didn't, lad. They've been to have a look at it a few times, but they haven't brought it up. So Graham back into this corner now. I suspect finger back under the crown.
Fine line, very fine line, Jack.
That's right. Big corners.
Notice that a lot with Graham, Jack, don't you? Seems to play these marks where it tests you for road. Likes to play marks where, you know, if you just get miss it a smidge underneath or over the top one way or other, then he can catch you.
He makes it difficult in every department possible. Those guys got the perfect delivery for the job, and as you say, Callum picks the testing marks. And where a yard ball's a very good ball, which on this mark it would be.
Certainly think that's definitely his strength, though, that he just never seems to miss a road, does he?
That's right. It's for granted is the road, and he's just probing for a length.
Yeah.
Really, that's the way I assess him.
That's not a bad lead he's put up there, really, and it's not because
it'll look a lot gainer on front, Matt, and Ashley's underneath.
Underneath again. This is what I'm saying to you. He catches you because he's so consistent at hitting that road all the time. His delivery allows him to, really.
Ashley's concentrated so much on the length there. He's got a perfect length, but he's obviously just lapsed on the road, forgot to keep it up, and under it goes.
Graham just caught himself a smidge under now, but
as long as it couples, that's all he's after.
It's done a job anyway.
He's grinding in nicely now.
His keen balls hooped up a bit at the end there, didn't they?
That's right. It's just bent in, playing with a strongish bias.
Well, they are strong, his bowls, very strong. Is he short now?
This is labouring, yeah. This perfect road for the job, but short again. So that's 14-5 as we go in that game.
No real way back from me, Jack, from here, to be honest. But you just never know. He's got to keep plodding away and hopefully sort something out.
Yeah, he'll certainly have to play better bowls than that, Will Ashley, if he's going to get in. Realistically, that sort of the worst bowl you'll get off Graham, that 4 foot shot, and you need to get in straight away.
You've got to punish them leads because he won't play any worse than that. That's for a fact, Jack. You're quite right there. I do think that where you got to head with Graham is just right over the top of top of the crown. As I think that's the only place you might find him a little bit vulnerable.
It's just it's like anything in it, Cal. If you just put him, you just got to keep putting him nearer than him and just hope he's missing his firing a bit, and eventually you might just get to 21 before he does. That
seems to be your only hope, to be honest.
It is really. So that game's chuffing along now at 14-5, and the other game now, Andrew Sykes and Gary Ellis, is 12-10 to Gary. So Andrew's tightened that game up, and he's playing into this corner. So Andrew's got hold of the jack. He's led probably a yard short, Callum, has he, Andrew?
I'd say so, yeah.
Gary's passed it, and yes, it's a good one.
No, it's a good one from the shuffler.
From the shuffler.
I'm sure we'll get him to stand on the mat once, Jack.
Well, it's only a guide, isn't it, Callum?
That's all you do, use it as a guide.
I'm surprised these referees haven't just had a little word. Well, so Andrew's managed to
scab his own ball in there, hasn't he?
He's secured shot with that. So I don't know what Gary's got up his sleeve with this one. It looks a bit jammed up for me. Unless he's got a clear run on the top side of those balls.
I think he's playing a reacher on the winning ball, to be fair, Jack. I think that's his key.
I think just pump something, pump the ball or the jack. He's leaning. He's missed everything.
Just gone through the gap.
Through. So
hey, diddle diddle, straight through the middle.
That's it. So Andrew, he maintains hold of the jack, and at 11-12, looking for another good lead. He'll be just taking his time, no doubt, Andrew. Plodding along.
You're never going to rush Andrew, are you?
It might be a midnight finish if Andrew wins it.
Stay out there all night.
Absolutely.
It's a good job we didn't have to play Ditchfield. That would have been a long game.
I think his first game were fairly. It was certainly above an hour between Kevin Shaw and.
I've been very impressed about the way Andrew played the screen. He qualified the same night as me, and I thought he pulled a fantastic ball out in his first round game against Jack Hargreaves at 20 across. Played a raw ball.
Yes. Yeah,
who would have thought it 4 games later he's now in the semi-final playing Ellis and at 11-12, and you know.
That's right.
It just shows you.
Still as competitive as anybody. It's not so long ago he won the John Smith Classic at Cleckheaton.
Yeah, he won Cleckheaton Sports, yeah.
We're only 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe a fraction longer. Winner of the Talbot Trophy at the Rakes in Blackpool over the years.
Well, he's been a good player, yeah.
Yeah, certainly has. He's won some good stuff in bowls.
When you win them type of tournaments, Jack, you are a proper player, so.
Yeah, Gary will know that. He'll have played him loads of times over the years, no doubt.
Oh, he's
chiseled.
In off the table leg.
Wow. Well, it's what he makes of it though, Callum, isn't it? If he rams a front nodder on, then Andrew
be thinking about that wick, won't he?
He will. If he gets straight back in, he forgets about it, doesn't he?
He needs to put that out of his mind. But what do you think about the way Gary's played tonight? Have you watched much of him, or?
Yeah, I've glanced an eye over him now and again. You know, he's like I say, beaten Gareth Lally 21-15 first game. Just, you know, I think Gareth Lally were quite erratic a few ends, and then Gary's just sort of steadied the ship and got out to like that. I think those few erratic ends are the difference in the game for Gareth Lally.
I certainly agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's finished poorly his game, but I think in the middle of the game he's had Gary in a bit of trouble just over the middle of this crown, just to the edge of the shelter and back. He certainly had Gary worried. I think he went in front at about something like 14-13 or in that game, and certainly had Gary a bit worried again. But
I think, like you say, Callum, that it's without the block, isn't it? You know, if
even young Danny next game had Gary slightly worried at about 14 across or something. You know, he was playing some nice balls, but again to his own jack. And then when Gary got hold of the jack,
he just does enough. He just does enough, doesn't he? You know, he just knows how to grind it out somehow.
This is what I'm saying. She's not played anything for me stunning out of the world tonight, but he's still there hanging around. And
that's right. So it's all about just getting 21, isn't it, and just winning the games. And he's a master of it. he wins a lot of tight games, a lot of close games, 15s, 16s, 18s, and
there's nobody better at it than him for that.
It's almost like he ain't getting out of third sort of gear in a way, and he don't often batter people. He just grinds out. And
I think his willpower and determination is just something that seems to just keep him above everybody else. And I'm not saying nobody else wants to win, but he just always manages to find a way of winning somehow.
He's an incredible art at it.
There's not many players that can win so many tournaments, Jack, not playing, at the top of their game,
right.
and still keep
That's
winning.
Right. Yeah, playing at 80% or maybe less. It's an art. He's developed an absolute art for it, and that's credit to him and his commitment to the game.
That's why he's the best player in the game for me,
That's
Jack.
right. Over
It's got to be.
the consistency, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very hard opponent.
He's played a fantastic ball there, Jack, to be fair.
He has. Andrew's let the water in, and Gary's punished it, which is what you should be doing off poor leads like that. It was a poor lead by Andrew, so Gary's stamped his authority on it.
I'm not sure Andrew can actually get in this peg, Jack, to be honest. He's going to have a go, but looks dodgy to get in that
He's
peg.
on the narrow. He's just sent a bit of a rambler, really, just wanting to be reaching, but it's an easy two for Gary, really.
Yeah, free gift, this is,
And that'll increase his lead to 15-12 if he pairs up here.
It's gone the other peg, I think. I'd have probably done that, to be honest.
He has gone the other peg. He needs to hurry. Just needs to keep running.
They just trail a bit here, Jack, don't they?
Yeah, it just needs to keep going, yeah. In it
Trailed
goes.
in.
That's all it needed to do, so that's 15-12 now. And meanwhile, on the other game, Ashley's got hold of the block, but he's 16-7 behind and just leading out up the green edge towards the scoreboards.
Are you surprised he's not had a go at trying to go over this crown with Willie? A bit more, persisted with that a bit more?
I mean, I suppose he's only had, how many times has he had the jack, Callum? If he's had a pair or two pairs, he's probably only had the jack four or 5 times at the most, hasn't he?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I just think that down an edge is not really the way to beat Willie, and I think if you lose the end, you're putting a lot more pressure on yourself, because there's only one place you're heading if you lose the end.
Yeah, I suppose you have 2 bites at cherry if you go up to the crown.
That's how I'd look at it, Jack.
Latest score on the green, Gary Ellis 15-12, Graham Wilson 16-8.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. But he's played 2 bad balls and Ashley's overreached with both of them, and I think Graham will lap this up. Certainly one.
Who's your tip anyway, Jack?
Oh, I just sit on the fence, me, Callum.
Oh, no. Typical Yorkshireman.
Typical Yorkshireman.
Sitting on the fence, always Yorkshireman.
That's right, yeah. Keep brass in pocket.
You've got plenty of brass in them pockets, Jack.
17-8 lead for Wilson, and playing nicely.
And Andrew Sykes in the other games played a
he's
effort.
chiselled off. I think this is the tightest game within this semi-final clashes, and a collision there from Sykes has left Ellis holding one.
Been unlucky there, really.
Yes. So will Gary go back to that mark he were initially playing, Calm, just clipping the crown towards the scoreboard's finger peg, just that little round peg off the crown.
Yeah, do you fancy him? That's where he's going to go and just try and bang a lead in.
Yeah, he's looking over there, certainly. I think he's probably just going to wait till they've finished their end, perhaps. I think that's probably the reason he went into the position where he stood now. Try and get back on that mark. Always thinking of positions to get back in and get a run.
He's a tactical genius, Jack.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Meanwhile, Shirley's got 2.
Yep. So that gets him into double figures. 10-17 at the rear.
Not a bad lead for Mellis, Jack.
No, it's very tidy there, just in front. Andrew got to work round it and play a perfect length to score.
Seems far enough to do so.
I think he has done, you know. He has done.
What a
What a
ball.
belting wood that is. It's a great ball from Andrew Sykes, that.
Tremendous ball, that, Jack, yep.
16-12 down, facing a lead. Gary, he's trotting after it.
Oh,
He's trotting after it, he must like it.
It's always scary when he chases after him.
Oh, he's looking at it. He's done it. Oh, he's done it. He's
What a
flopped
great
off.
effort.
What a great
Brilliant ball. Brilliant ball.
He's got an answer for everything, this kid.
Doesn't want to play that there's too pacey, I would imagine, Jack, otherwise he's going to hang out wide, isn't he, Andrew?
I think it's only a yard of 4 foot at the
I
most,
think that's
isn't
all he
it?
can do, really.
So-
A bare couple of yard at max, and any more pace is just going to hang out, so...
I think the main thing now is this bowl of Gary Ellis's, that his first bowl of Gary's is just causing a problem now. Because if he could pump that into the head, but it's going to be very difficult to navigate around that with enough speed to do what he wants. I don't think.
But by playing into that short bowl and knocking it into the head, all kinds of things could happen.
It's not a good life for him, is it?
No. No. It certainly isn't.
I don't know. Would you nearly fire at that? And
I would have to, yeah. You've got to, and hope for the best there
Yeah,
for me, because
try
I
and
just
ramble.
don't think he's got... I'll just play a rambler and smash into them and just hope for the best, because that does not lie good for Andrew, that head at all, to be honest. He's played that ball me and you said he was going to possibly play, but it's so easy to hang out with pace. What a great effort.
He's sprung it. Has he sprung it round the corner
Brilliant
for his
ball.
own?
What a fantastic ball that was.
Perfect. He took a lot of time over that, thinking and weighing all the options up, and he's just produced the goods. Oh, that were a great end of balls, Callum.
Fantastic end of balls, Jack, and to be honest, he's doing well to hang on in there with Gary at the minute. Just when every time you think Gary's just going to creep away and extend that sort of lead to maybe 5-6 chalks and just get away, he's just hanging on in there.
Yeah, so as the rain descends here, the players are still battling on regardless. Very inclement evening, but the show must go on.
Just started to come down heavy now, Jack, to be fair. But,
It has. It's been a grotty night.
like I say, wind and rain put together, it's not nice conditions to play in, and
blowing.
certainly not easy.
It's blowing in your face, isn't it? And
How's Andrew's lead looking? He was on a lovely road in, I think, but just...
needs to hurry. Yeah, he's poor lead.
5 feet short, Jack, maybe
It's
6
not-
feet.
it's
It's
not-
not going to be good enough, is it?
Well, what we're saying with this one, it's on a tighter line.
Yeah, but it's far enough to go in, though.
It
Jack.
is, yes, and that's all it needed to do. I think that's the thing. I think with Andrew's wide line, it's taken a lot of running out of it, hasn't it? It just needs to narrow in, and still a yard of room. This is a critical bowling context of the game.
Oh, he's not left it short, Jack, has he?
Oh, it's poor.
Potted
Poor
made.
bowl. Has he left it? Yeah.
Got a puncture, Jack.
Yes, it's run out of petrol, hasn't it?
Oh, you've got to knock it a yard to knock it in. 4, 6, 7 turn.
Yeah, Andrew played a poor end when it really mattered, Callum, really.
Need to be far enough there, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Just past the end, but put it down like a newborn baby, to be fair.
He has, but Gary hasn't punished this. He hasn't punished it.
There was no danger there as well, Jack. He had to be far enough to make two there, didn't he? Even if he went past the end.
A rare slip up from one of the best players in the game.
Not very often he won't pair up in them kind of situations. You
It
know?
has been noted that he is human.
Yeah. A very odd occasion.
At 8:45 at Pudsey.
Can only put it down to a rare slip.
Well, this top edge now, very, very pushy finish. Long way this mark.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jack. I think this is a kind of a mark that catches a lot of people out who go up this edge here, and you just treat it as any normal edge. But as you know, going up this edge is actually a long way. It is a long way.
It is. And Andrew will know that, but it's easy to overreach, and he's just played a superb lead. So you've got to play a length. And
brilliant lead.
Yeah, so Andrew will know it's a long way.
Has he reached, Jack?
I think he's reached, but I'm not sure it's on a road, is it?
You're right. He's a length just smidge wide.
So it's not a bad ball. I think even if Gary puts one inside that, I think there's a running ball available to Andrew.
In this situation, you'd like him not to have made two, though, because he could have a go at it.
Well, it's pegging, but it's just going to hang on in there for one, I think.
I think it's done enough. I think it's made two, to be honest. Andrew's asking, but I think it's made two.
I think you've still nearly to gamble here, haven't you, Callum, for it?
Ellis has confirmed it's made two, I think. Would you go finger peg now or not? No.
Well, he's trying to just float a saver in, really. It's
Yeah,
just a saving ball.
He's basically conceded one here, Jack, hasn't he?
I think he has, but he's going close.
What an effort.
Well, I think
done his job.
It's the best he could have hoped for, really.
Could have been greedy and maybe gone with the peg, tried to play bowl or jack, and tried to maybe clip the jack for two or struck at it and kill the end, but
that's right.
In the end I think he chose probably the safer option and just concede the one, really.
That's it. But I mean, he's played a good ball there, 'cause he wasn't guaranteed to save, were he? It were,
Yeah, it wasn't a guaranteed saving option, but I think at this stage in the game, we just can't afford to give any more trucks away.
No, I think he should have just probably pushed Boat out a bit there and
and
made something happen.
I think so. I think this is a time where he's got to try and do something like that before it's too late.
It's just slipping away now. 18-13 against someone of Ellis's stature.
You feel this end's massively important. I can't see him winning if he loses this end for me, Jack.
Gary's played a shocking ball.
He's buzzed one to far, hasn't he?
This must be. What's the pace difference up this edge, Callum? Is that the pace difference up this edge?
That is the pace difference, at least.
2.5 yards.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
It's so easy to shoot one pass coming down here, especially when you've just been up the heavyweight.
So it certainly looks
Andrew's punished.
Just needs to run a touch.
Yeah, it's good in this, Jack. It's good in this.
Not bad at all.
Very good ball. And as you know, it's hard to get round that, because if you try and get round it, it won't peg it. It'll just stray on.
It's a square back mark. It's fighting
just
it all the way.
You'll see this now, won't you?
It's fighting against bias
just
all the way.
Straight, hasn't it? Run straight.
I mean, his speed has robbed him, really, but it might not have won it on a length, Callum.
I don't think he'd have got in with a length, to be fair.
So Andrew Sykes, a massive opportunity to really just dig into this lead now, make it 15-18.
It was imperative he won this end, Jack. I think
It was.
Now he's won it. Needs to make two. He's got to make two.
He's certainly far enough, Callum.
Can't run out, Jack. Two all day, Jack. Can't run out.
Certainly here.
Can't run out, Jack. Right. Two all day.
Two all day to Andrew. 2 all day to Andrew. That's all it needed to do.
15-18. Where would you go if you're Andrew now, Jack?
Well, I think there's only, knowing Andrew's size, there's only one place he's going to go, and that's finger peg towards that big lamppost. I'd be amazed if he doesn't stretch it out again.
He needs to play one, doesn't he?
Certainly does. They haven't actually put them on the scorecard yet. It's 18-15 now is this game, not 18-13. Meanwhile, Graham Wilson's all but, and that's it. Yeah, first semi-finals.
Wilson weighed in.
Yeah, 21-12, Graham Wilson. So
he's gone thumb instead, Jack.
Wow.
And played down to the scoreboard.
Yes, he has, yeah.
Me and you thinking he'd have gone finger and played easy peg maybe and just played one there. He's played a lot more
big sweeping mark here.
Difficult mark. He's short as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's let water in here. Yeah, I think he's played a bit of a nothing mark really, Callum. I think he hasn't really. I don't know what he's gaining by playing this mark, but unless he's, I don't know, just trying to change it a touch.
Well, either way, Gary's certainly not played a good one there, Jack. So he's got a second bite to the cherry.
Yeah, he's a good 6 foot in.
Now then, if he gets a clear run, and he needs a clear run, and he's definitely narrow.
He has done.
Oh, it's gone in.
It's ended up a good one, Callum now. Smashing adjustment.
It's only one. If it's only one, Gary's a short certainty to have a pop at this, Jack, for me.
Yes,
And I've watched his striking tonight. His striking tonight's been absolutely frightening. Commentator's curse kicking in, but he hasn't missed. He's missed
it. He's missed it by a long way.
There you go. Commentator's curse. He has struck well tonight, though, Jack.
Yeah,
he struck really well. Surprised me there. He struck on the peg. I thought he'd have just struck straight at that. Really, gone finger at it and just struck.
Andrew Sanks is hanging on in there. 2 shots the difference. So where now? Does he play that sort of finger peg shuttery square back towards us, or does he come thumb back into this corner?
If you remember, about 7 ends ago, he's played finger down towards us and played a rambler, played about 4 yards short and chucked his second off. So he'd be a brave man to play the same mark again.
I think he's got to go thumb this time.
I think he's got to play thumb down to us this time after what happened last time finger.
Certainly has. Yeah. He hasn't, you know.
He hasn't. He's been brave. He's played the same mark
again, and
he's played it. It's just gone a bit wider this time, though, Joe.
He's gone a touch further as well.
He's got into the quick part of this corner.
Is he here, Callum?
I think he's all right with this, Jack. Me.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants this back, anytime soon.
This is a great lead.
What a bowl that is.
I mean, he's been due down here. He's persisted with this finger peg back down here three times, I think, in this game.
This is a lovely road in. This is, Jack. It's maybe just a smidge too far, but lovely road in.
It's just going to shade out, is it? Or
no,
is it not? What a great bowl that is by Ellis. What a fantastic bowl. That's gone in. Andrew a foot short of the jack, and Gary obviously 8 or 9 inches at the back.
What a brilliant ball that was by Gary.
Superb.
Absolutely stunning ball.
So Andrew, all he can do is just put a fraction in, hope to tup his own in, or lay.
Doesn't want to play too pacey at this
just hang out, won't it?
It looks like a chance if he's here. He's got a massive chance.
Oh, he's here. It might just hang. Is it going to hang? It's going to hang.
Oh, unlucky.
Or a real try. Like you say, anything more than a yard, it's just won't entertain bending.
It's been a bare yard over there and it didn't want to have it, did it?
No.
It just hung out.
Andrew plays a ball keen and all.
Ellis is coming to have a look at the end, but I don't think there's anything that he can change. I mean,
well,
if he's either going to be brave and play the same ball, I mean, for me, I'd just take the one and lead on, but there we go.
Don't forget, though, the other hand, it lips up from underneath. It can just leave it underneath, and if it's too low, it's too low.
That's a dangerous ball, though. If you just
dangerous.
cut it a smidge, it's easy to lip up and knock that shortening. Any touch, you just tap it, it's in, isn't it?
Well, should you always go for 2?
In most situations, Jack, I'm a big believer, always go for 2, but
I suppose if you get a chance, into the up hole and he's up this top edge again.
I think, in my opinion, with the way this end lies, I'd be taking this like Jack and I'd be going back up the heavy edge.
He's turned over. I don't think he'll be trying too hard with this.
I don't think he's gone for 2, to be honest, Jack.
No, he's just sent it.
He's just sent it. And
so he's in the up hole.
He's taking the jack. He's going thumb peg up this heavy edge, and he's going to lead one. And that's a sensible option for me.
Yeah. He just sent it rather than carrying it, hasn't he?
Yeah, basically, because he's just being a smidge lazy, to be honest.
Well, to be fair, he's walked up to the end.
No, he's not. You're right. You're right, Jack. You're right.
All right, Callum.
I'll let you off this one.
Thanks, lad. Right.
Can you believe he's not gone straight down his edge now?
Well,
that is surprising.
He will do. He's just looking all over the place.
He's just toying about?
He's just toying about. Yeah.
Right.
He's definitely going to.
He's not. He's not.
You're joking.
Oh, that is scandalous.
That's unbelievable.
If he was to lose this game now, would you believe that? I mean, 4 ends ago, he's gone straight up the edge and played 2 smokers and counted 2. Surely it's a no-brainer.
Well,
to go back up there. He's obviously going to prove me and you wrong now and count games.
But I mean,
surely.
I can only assume, Cal, that the reason he's gone there is if he gets 1. He's on the mark. Whereas if he stands in that corner, he hasn't got a mark.
You're right, if he only gets 1, but I mean, after playing so good the win before that, and Andrew's probably punished his lead and played a good one. I think this could turn out to be a game changer, this decision of where he's gone with this lead with the jack.
He's still in the driving seat, but
he's in the target area, Jack. I'll tell you that now.
He is, and he's far enough.
Target area.
What a great ball! That's a wonderful ball. So it's a case of just following him in now. He's
got 1,000 things that can go right for him here, Jack. 1,000 things that go right for him.
Just see
plays a reach into the head. He's going to almost certainly be on after it for me.
Is it too big? Is it
Oh,
too
he's gone
big?
wide with
Is it too
pace, Jack.
big? Is it
Can't
too
knock that
big?
other one in.
Is it too big?
Yeah.
He's just
He was always
throwing
wide
it
from hand.
out
Yeah.
the hand.
It was always wide from hand.
Oh, everything were right but the road.
Let's prove your theory right now, though, Jack. He's bang on his mark now.
Absolutely, he scored the one, and he's gone to look at winning the game in two ends, not one, hasn't he, Callum?
I think you're right there, Jack. I think he's thought very
Clever
in depth
thinking,
about it. Yeah, he's thinking. This is a difference. Gary reminds me of like a snooker player. He's thinking three ends ahead all the
That's
time.
right.
You know, that end there, I mean, it'd been a no-brainer to go up this edge after just counting two up it, and he's so comfy playing up, but if he doesn't count his two, he's unsure about where to go if he wins the end.
Yeah.
Whereas normally, mere mortals are just thinking about where we can win the next end. He's thinking about where he can win the next two ends. That's the difference.
And not only that, Callum, he's played a different bit of land and backed himself to lead one.
Yeah.
And he has led one, and Andrew's beaten it. And then obviously he's played a real and now here he's on his mark and he's led another smoker.
We knew this was going to happen because he's
That's
so
right.
comfy going down to the scoreboards, isn't he?
That's it. It's we were ready for slating him for that decision, but it's turned out we're eating his words.
Oh, this is why me and you are here, and he's on the green, Jack. To be honest,
That's right, lad.
it's a good effort from Andrew. He's not done a lot wrong there. He's just cut it half a bowl narrow.
Well, made another. That's all he needed to do. So he's looking for a bit of a movement on the jack now. Really, he ain't going to play it dead, is he?
I don't think you can see the Jack.
Well, it's ball on to block and hope at best, isn't it? You can't be playing dead.
You sure he's not going to lick it with dead, and Jack?
Well, I don't know. He's looking at it. He's weighing it up.
Last time he went up there, he played a great ball. He licked a good one last time up there. Whether he can do it again, game down, I don't know. Well, he's played a reacher, Jack.
Yes. Is he what? No, what's he doing? Is he? Oh, he's still watching it. He's watching it. What a fantastic ball.
That is an incredible ball. An absolutely incredible ball. Now look where he is, Jack, as well.
Wow.
He's in position A. I mean, he's going to come finger peg down to me and you. He's two ends away from getting out now.
Yes. Well, what a turn up for the Bucks. It's had a lot of fantastic balls played in this match.
This has been a great semi-final.
It has. It's been superb.
Yeah, two good ends, and he's,
brilliant. He's really played. Well, I can't believe it. Another shock in the system here, Callum.
Well, what are they doing to us, Jack? What are they doing to us, Jack?
We cannot read the game. We are just guessers.
I cannot believe what I'm playing tonight.
No, well. Well, he don't look too
Crowd are
bad.
shouting, "Get on, Jack! Must be sure."
It's not only a yard. It's a yard shot.
Plenty of room there for the game's number one.
It's a plainish landing, it not just length really.
Far enough, anyway.
Certainly is far enough.
Slowing up now, Jack.
Yeah, it's only gone 18 inches, so Andrew's all the work to do again. Got a good ball to beat. Needs a good 4 foot in his own, Callum.
He's going to do well to lick that for me, Jack.
Yeah, he's got to get by his own as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. He likes it,
Well.
And he's definitely far enough to do damage. Just pace has kept him out.
That's it. What a great game. 21-17 to Gary Ellis. So a final between the two greats of the game, as you napped, Callum.
Yep, we're going for a brilliant final now. Best two players in the game. We're going to go toe to toe at one of the best clubs in the country.
Thank you for joining us, Callum.
We'll be back shortly with the final.
Many thanks.
Where you go, Mike?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final of the 2016 Pudsey Classic. In the final we have Graham Wilson playing Gary Ellis. This competition sponsored by the Northern Trade Windows Company. And Graham Wilson won the toss and has led out, but Gary's got him for the first end and he's coming with his second ball to try and make a pair. Got £1,000 for the winner and £600 for the runner-up, so it's not to be sneezed at. And Gary's got 2 the first end, and we have with us Mr. Jimmy Hearn, one of the stalwarts of the Bradford area.
Evening, Mike.
Good evening, Jim. Nice
You
to
alright?
see you.
Difficult one for you to commentate. 2 good buddies of yours here, Mike.
I won't go as far as to say that.
No, but I understand you've carried Graham's bag now for nearly 18 months, haven't you? Have you seen him win out yet?
You can hear you know.
I know.
No, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult for me. I want them both to win. But hopefully we'll see a good game.
Difficult evening tonight though, Michael, isn't it? With conditions, showery, very breezy, and it's not an easy green to control your bowls when the wind's blowing in Pudsey.
No, exactly right, Jim. And to be perfectly honest, the 2 best players on the day are in the final. They've handled the conditions superbly. They've not played the best games, but they play consistently well, which is the difference between good bowlers and not so good bowlers.
I was going to thought for a moment you were going to say the likes of me and you, Michael, but
No, we don't come into that category.
we still have our dreams.
Yes, we can dream. Gary's gone on his edge of the green mark, where he's won the competition before. But he's left Graham a chance here. And actually, this is the first time Graham's been in the final 16 here.
And how can you? What a shock that is for you! Like
You can't legislate for that, can
no,
you?
the Yorkshire's #1 player. But we're in a season of big comps now in Yorkshire, Michael. You know, we've got a
Yeah.
few. At that time of the year now where
Yeah, this is the time when the Yorkshire finals all start coming to fruition.
Pudsey, Spen, Rastrick,
Yeah,
you know,
Brighouse.
yeah, there's a few big pots to be
There
to
is.
be collected.
Well, this is the time of the season where you can have a good 2 or 3 weeks and you can win a good £6,000 or £7,000.
Be nice, that wouldn't it? Be nice.
It'd be nice just to get in with a little bit of a sniff of it, to be honest. Graham had 1 at that end. It's 1-2, and Graham's gone for the corners again. I think this is going to be the sign of the times on this game, Jim.
And you go to most competitions between here and Lancashire, Mike. Have they played each other often recently?
I think they played about 4 times this year. I know Graham. I can remember Graham winning 2 on 2 occasions, and I think this is the 4th, and Gary's won on 1 occasion. But they don't generally play to the top of their ability when they play each other, because I think they both know each other's game that well that they're always trying to find something to catch their opponent out.
A tremendous amount of respect between the two players, isn't there, Michael?
Yeah, they're great friends off the green. I mean, they don't go out drinking and socialising together, but they do converse quite a lot during the season.
And that's quite unusual at top level of any sport, isn't it? That normally there's a little bit where, you know, they may nod to one another as they cross each other across a green, but genuinely they do get on then.
Yeah, they get on. They have a lot of respect for each other, and like I say, they do speak to each other on a regular basis over things in general, because Graham's the bowls rep for Taylor's Bowls, and Gary uses Taylor's Bowls and uses their equipment. Taylor's very kindly let him have whatever he wants to encourage him to play the game and things of that nature. So Graham uses Gary for posters, advertising posters and things of that nature.
And do they play with a similar size bowl?
Well, yeah, similar in the respect that Gary plays 212 tailors and Graham generally plays 211.
So both play with quite a heavy bowl.
Yeah. Gary has come down a bit over the last few years. He's sticking to 211s a lot. He's got a grip of these balls now, because he had his pair broke at Cleckheaton, I think it was a few years ago, by Ian Booth. But Graham's come down a bit to 210s as well. He's plays a lot of 210 balls now, because they've both got that many pairs of balls which are identical in shape and size, that look like they're different to the human eye. They look the same, but they just have a different type of bias on them.
And that was the question I was going to ask you, Michael. Will they actually change the weight of the balls depending on the state of a green, or do they generally play with the same weight?
They tend to play with the same weight, but like I say, when Graham goes to somewhere that has strong bias jacks, he tends to get a pair of balls out that have got a stronger bias. They'll be the same size, probably the 210 now. But Gary just seems to have the same bias. He doesn't mess around with his biases. He tries to keep a standard bias, where Graham will go to Premier balls in Stockport and have the bias tweaked up on one or two pairs. And same when they go to places with weak jacks, he'll have a pair made a little bit weaker, which look identical to his general normal balls.
Interesting though for the normal sort of like club player or park player, they might struggle with the fact that people are playing with a strong jack or a weak jack, and apparently we're all playing with standard jacks.
Well, they're supposed to be standard, but how can you have a standard jack that's exactly the same as each other when they're made by different companies, made by different materials? 28. Made from different material and actually made of a different size, because the tolerance on the size of a jack is quite a big size, actually, a big tolerance.
Well, it's 2, but you'd expect Graham normally to beat these balls, Michael.
You would. It's Gary leading 3-2, line 2. Graham's just taking his time, just steadying himself, because he knows this can be a big end. There's plenty of room for him. He's too far with this. He's left the 2.
Yeah, good early spot.
Uncharacteristic of Graham. 5-2, Ellis leads.
Game really takes a few ends to settle down, doesn't it, Michael, before they get in the rhythm? But
yes.
You won't want to be giving Gary too many start, would you?
No, you don't want to be giving any of these too many start, because they will put you to the sword. Well, the further it goes, the better for this.
Yeah, I don't think he wants it back, does he?
No.
He don't want it back.
Graham's on a good road. He's got to get there.
He's trying here, Michael. Trying here.
Real ball.
What a good
real
ball.
Super
what a
ball.
good ball.
Gary's going to have a look at that.
Well,
I don't know what he can do.
No, normally he'd be expecting Gary to let one go, but I'm sure his front ball there is hiding the target, Michael.
He might just strike at his own ball and not knock them all off.
Well,
Graham will be chin down on his...
The problem with it is, of course, is if he hits Graham's front ball and he doesn't hit it right, then he's going to leave Graham with plenty of room to count another.
Yeah, it's a chance you take.
Do you ever
He's going to go one down no matter what.
Well, do you ever settle just for being one down because the alternative is worse than what you are?
Mm.
Well, it's going to be a wonder bowl. I've got him short, Michael.
He wants to run.
I've got him short.
Wants to run.
What a non-Gary Ellis bowl that is.
He's settling for one down and hoping Graham doesn't get another.
Yeah.
Well, if it pegs, it's got to peg quick. It's going to hang out for me.
Well, if it goes to plan now, we're going straight in the corner, aren't we, Michael?
Well, I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
I've watched Gary play this corner. He's very much more comfortable playing finger peg into this corner than he is thumb peg. Is it harder going in thumb?
It is harder going in thumb, yeah. The finger peg is a lot easier as long as you don't get underneath the jack. But he's come out, he's gone. He's just brought it over a touch, hasn't he, Jim? He's brought it finger peg, but he's not played it down towards the blue border stand. I think he's gone thumb peg at this, to be perfectly honest, Jim. It is a falling mark, but I think that's thumb peg.
Yeah, and that's what I'd expect Graham to go in, because although it's not an easy mark, finger peg, I think it is easier than thumb.
Well,
I don't think this is a mile off. It may be a
it's on
yard
a better
to far.
road.
Maybe
It's
a
on
yard to
lovely
far.
road.
And that last yard down there, I stood by the steps about 10 minutes ago. That bottom yard down there is pulling up really quickly now.
Yeah, Graham's played for an hit and he's underneath and he's gone out.
Gary says, am I touching? And the crowd roar no. Gary's a look of shock on his face.
It's a big distance of 3 inches off.
Well, there's a
This
lot of
wants to run.
running to do with this ball, yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing, to be fair, Michael, is he don't want to spring the jack and give Graham an easy chalk, does he?
But he'll be disappointed he's not got within 5 foot all round the jack to count another.
5-3, Gary leading out.
Are you sure it's not 6-3?
Oh, the marker's slow to put him on. Is that Stamper doing marking? Michael showing his age, says I can't see that far, Jimmy, but I'm not sure if it is or not.
Gary's going to go back to the mark that he played Andrew Sykes on in the semi-final.
And how well has he played tonight, Andrew?
Can't fault his performance,
No,
really. I know he's got about 14 with Gary in the semi.
Well, I think he got more than that, Michael. I
He
think
might have done.
Yeah.
Might have got 17 or
Yeah.
something at the end.
But he's played
some
marvellous.
real balls.
Played
yeah,
real tonight,
yeah.
as Andrew. Really
To
pleased to
compete
see
in
him.
this class of bowler.
At his age.
Well, he doesn't play in that many comps. He plays in a lot in Yorkshire, and he's entitled to do quite well. But you know, it's a tall ask to get to a semi-final of one of these big comps. It's a tall ask to qualify. Never mind get to the semi-final.
And of course, he puts a lot back into the game, doesn't he, with
He
the
does.
Murfield doubles competition that he runs, which is hugely popular in Yorkshire.
Yeah. Very enjoyable. All the Yorkshire people and a few of the others from round about all rave about the competition. The Murfield two-man team.
And it's a different format, isn't it? Suddenly you're playing as a team rather than as an individual.
Yeah, and the score, you're keeping your eye on the scoreboard at all times.
Graham playing through, but
1-2 Ellis, 7-3. He'll come back to this little green patch just over the middle of the green now, I would think. Like I say, where they play Mr. Sykes. Thumb peg just cutting the crown. And don't forget, Graham's had 12 days away in Spain. Only came back yesterday, so he's not sent any balls in competitive games.
it's a shocking life, the life of a top-class bowler, isn't it?
It is.
It's a shocking life. By the way, how was Mablethorpe last week? Was it nice?
I have a walk round Hollingworth Lake every now and again when the sun's out. And of course Gary's playing for a new child that's on the way.
Yeah, and that's...
Him and Denise are expecting the first child.
Yeah, and massive congratulations to them, yeah.
Yeah. It might. Everyone's hoping that when the baby arrives it gives Gary some sleepless nights during the season and everyone can take advantage of it. But the pair of them are over the moon about it.
And I should hope they are as well.
Gary's a foot short, he's told Graham. Should be able to get past it with a length.
He's far enough. You don't want to hit that jack.
Gone out. Brave effort.
Yeah, and the green is definitely pulling up now, Michael. You'd expect it at this time of night, wouldn't you?
9 o'clock, it's been raining most of the night. You know, it's bound to take a bit of holding now. And Graham's still going to persist in going for these corners.
Well, it's a slight change of tactics, Michael.
His tactics, I was going to say. I think he might just change them and just try and play across the green the other way towards the club and try and put them somewhere round about, because he's not been leading in the corners. And this wants to run down the hill. It's going to be 4 foot short. He's not leading, is Graham. This is what happened the last time they played. Every time Graham got the jack, he just didn't lead.
You've got to clear this short ball here, Michael. And he does.
They played in the final at Hotwood Unis a few months ago, and for the first 3 rounds Graham played absolutely immaculate, and Gary scrimped and scraped through.
He's trying here.
Just wins it, missing.
Trying here. What a good ball.
And like I say, Gary scrimped and scraped through, and when they got to the final, Gary went 13-0 in front, played absolutely superb in the corners, and Graham had to come and play short marks similar to this.
Well, I think he's underneath.
He's got something.
No, he isn't.
I thought he'd picked it up.
And do you think
Gary didn't know.
Do you think out of the two then, do you think Gary is the street fighter out of the two?
Oh yeah. Without any doubt, as far as I'm concerned. If my life depended on it.
And you haven't got many years left.
I haven't got many years left, but if someone says, who do you want to play for your life, it would be Gary. He would be the person.
Well, I hope that's not an offer you get made
well, so do I.
in the next couple of years, Michael. We need you round the green, sort of like shying from making a comment. But
by the same rule, Graham's the nicest one to watch. When Graham's in full flow, he strokes them out as though there's no effort whatsoever.
Yeah, he's got a style that's almost unique to himself, and they come out lovely. Gary's a bit of a shunter type thing, step back and stuff like that.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But it's where they finish, and I think he's got him short here, Michael. I think he's got him short.
Well, Graham won't be happy no matter where it goes, because he's leading 6 foot off the jack. Graham will be very disappointed. He's having to do it all with his second ball all the time.
And you can't do that indefinitely, can you?
No, you can't. And here he is again. He's just done it with his second ball. He's put it right.
Real ball, they say. Real ball. Is that a Yorkshire term? Real ball.
I don't know, actually. I mean, real ball or something. He's more Yorkshire, isn't it?
Tripe and onions, reet ball, aye.
Graham's not sure whether it's 2. I must admit, it's very difficult under lights.
Has he got a good eye? Normally, Graham.
Yeah. And the pair of them will tell you what they actually think. They won't kid you or anything like that.
To be honest.
Oh, they're very, very honest. In fact, they're probably too honest for their own good. Some of the people on the top there that have had a drink or two are saying, get into it, it's only one lad, and Gary's having another look. He's totally unsure.
And it's a slightly different look at end of bowls if you're paying £2.80 for a pint or you're playing for £1,000, is it not, Michael?
Exactly, yeah. And it's more expensive for Graham because he's not in the Champion of Champions yet.
Is he not?
No, he's not, and Gary is. Gary's a multiple qualifier.
And then we've moved this year, of course, to the Champion of Champions being on the Saturday of Waterloo week, Michael.
Yes,
so
we have.
For anybody who hasn't booked a week off, you're guaranteed a good week's entertainment that week.
You're guaranteed a lot of bowling, that's for sure.
And maybe an odd drink.
And well, yes. Gary thinks he's playing he's playing cautiously here.
Yeah, I think
he's not over sure that it's one or two, but he's just going to make sure it's only one, and he might be lucky and hit that ball and count for one. It's just gone through. It saved one anyway. Yeah, the Waterloo this year is a week's event starting on the 17th of September with the last 64. Then it's a women's Waterloo down to the final on the Sunday. Then the Monday is the last 32, Tuesday is the last 16, and Wednesday is the final 8. But on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday nights, it's Martin Institute. Then on the Thursday, it's a Rakes final 32. Then on the Friday, it's a Charlie Tattersall last 32, 31 up. Then there's a £1,000 challenge match between Gary Ellis, Graham Wilson, Greg Smith and Callum Wright. £1,000 winner take all on the Friday night at Martin. Then on the Saturday it's a Champion of Champions for the men, and then on the Sunday it's a women's Champion of Champions.
So it's not a bad old week, is it? If you love bowls.
You've got to love bowls to go and put an appearance in all of them events. So like I say, Graham will be trying his eyeballs out to try and get into that Champion of Champions event, because that's where he generally comes to the fore.
You've got to clear the short bowl here.
And he's hit the back of it. Oh, he slipped under it and just gone in because it was short.
But he's a couple more chances yet, hasn't he, Michael, to qualify for the Champion of Champions? He ain't got a bad record at Brighouse, for instance.
No, I mean he's still got a few attempts to go, but he wants to get in as soon as he can.
Yeah, the sooner you book your ticket, the better.
Exactly. Then everything else is a bonus. Like that's a bonus.
Well, it's just fallen, so I don't know whether it's counted a pair or not. No, just a
got
one.
away with it as Gary. He was disappointed he's not missed that ball by a long way.
Oh, well,
level. Nowhere near it.
Levels you, Devil, 7 across.
Level, 7 apiece. He's got on this little run over the middle. Throws it up the crown, finger peg. And then it starts to peg once it gets over the crown, and it runs a little bit.
And the way he's delivering his ball, it does look a reach, Michael. It does look a reach up here, doesn't it? You have to get up before you come down.
Yeah, well, not a lot of people realise this, but it does have a really high crown. And there's lots of ups and downs on it as well. That's a bit better from Graham with his lead. But he's still not leading like he wants to do. He's still giving Gary chances with that lead ball. But at the moment, Gary's not taking them.
No, this ball looks far enough for me, Michael. Looks far enough.
He wants to pull up, it's gone way past. Like I said to you early on, Jim, whenever they played, they've never really played to the top of the game. They just fiddle around and wait for they're just waiting for each other to just kick into gear, and then they can start.
But bowls on its own in that type of sport, is it? A lot of finals end up being slightly disappointing, isn't it? Because I suppose the achievement is to get there.
Yeah.
How's Gary's dad, Tom? Mike, I ain't seen Tom for a bit.
He's not been too well this year. He's had a bit of pneumonia, but hopefully he's on the mend.
Good. Because it's unusual to see him not be at the side supporting Gary.
Yeah. Well, it's not Tom that's been ill this weekend. It's been Gary's mother, Pauline. She's been a bit under the weather. So Tom, as a good husband that he is, has decided that it has to stay in and look after Pauline tonight.
Time to get the priorities right.
Yeah, and Gary can look after himself. Or let me look after him. with Denise. I've got to get used to pushing prams, I've been told.
You'd be a lovely surrogate granddad. You've looked to be that age for a long time.
Yes, well, the good thing about that is I can give the child back to the parents. And Gary's got this 4-foot itis now, just not leading.
Yeah, he's changed the
like he
mark
would
as well,
do.
hasn't he? He's
Yeah,
just-
he has. They're both fishing for something where they can feel comfortable with.
It's give up from me,
It's give up for me and all.
and it's give up from the referee as well.
I'm not a great fan of referees, Jim, but
No, I don't think the game needs them personally,
if
Michael.
if they're going to be there, they should be like panel referees and should be stood at the end in the final and given an idea of what's going on straight away, because where Ian is 20 yards away from the end, I think bowlers want to know. If they're asking, they want to know straight away. Good ball, Graham.
I mean, it's a difficult one because I admire the effort they put in and the support they give the game. But sometimes you can just, especially at this level, I believe, you can let the players get on with it themselves, can't you?
Oh yeah, the players don't need a referee per se to tell them what to do. They just want a quick decision. If they in a competition like this, your referee should be at the end, stood there. And when the player says how far, he wants a decision straight away. He doesn't want the referee like he is standing there 15, 20 yards away. He wants to know.
Yeah, and there was certainly within an incident today earlier on with Callum, when Callum was playing Wayne, and Wayne asked somebody who was on. The referee couldn't make a decision, so Wayne wanted one of his buddies to go on who he trusted, and the referee wouldn't even allow him on the green.
That's what you term as overzealous refereeing, as far as I'm concerned. But the referee will tell you it's in the rule book that only the referee and the players are allowed on the green in British Crown Green run competitions.
Yeah, and I think the point that both players made to the referee, I'm not sure whether the referee accepted it, was that if it had been a county match, then fair enough, but this is an open competition. And there is a difference, isn't there?
I agree 100%. But in this case, you see, Jim, it's down to the organisers to inform the referees that they will allow spectators to come on the green and give an opinion if a player wants it.
Yeah, allow a bit of leeway.
I wouldn't say leeway, I would say common sense, Jim, because like we said, we're playing for £1,000 first prize, and if the referee can't make a decision and they're playing 70-yard corners, a player doesn't want to put his ball down, walk 70 yards there to have a look and find out that he's in or not in at first glance, and then walk all the way back, when his mate could be at the other end and say, you're in, Wayne, or you're one down, Wayne.
So we're at 10-8, Gary Ellis.
Yeah.
Neither player really settled down, as you said they might not do.
Yeah, like I say, you're just waiting for someone to press a switch on someone's back and start ramming it on the jack for like 5 or 6 minutes, and then the other fella will lift his game to compete. And again, Gary's gone 4 foot, a good 4 foot past the jack.
I mean, they're similar in a lot of ways, Gary and Graham, aren't they? Because the number of times that, from a spectator's point of view, you look up and it's 12 apiece.
Just over a yard.
And then a couple of ends later, somebody's gone to 18-12. They have the kick in, don't they? Sort of like 2/3 of the way through the game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure Gary can get back from there.
He wants to stop. If he's going to win, he's gone a mile
So
over.
Graham will be disappointed here if he don't level.
Yeah.
You've got 5 foot to count another. There's a bit of running to do.
Wants to run a big yard. Wants to run. He's left it short.
And that's not a good ball. And Graham would be the first one to tell you. But 9-10. Be interesting to see what he does here now, because he's in a different part of the green. Last couple of times he's gone thumb peg into this bottom corner, Michael. He changed his tactic, he went to the centre of green. Has he got a plan C?
I honestly don't know. He has. He's got A, B, C, D, E, F, and so forth. But I don't know what he's going to do. I think he'll play a little bit of a round peg towards the Pudsey Bowling Club stand, and just try and play something roundabout, just to try and get a bit of a length going.
Yeah, it's a good shout. It's a new bit of land, isn't it? They haven't been on this land all game so far. But as you said, Michael, he's struggling for that real good lead.
Well, we might have one here, Jim. If it's on the road, he's just a bit nipped, but it's the best lead he's played all game.
Yeah, I'd have it rather than try to lick it any day of the week.
Yeah, certainly. Now he's making Gary play up to this. He's bidding up for it.
Far enough, and he looks on a road.
On a good road, he's got the gap.
Oh!
He wouldn't be able to get that gap if he sent it from a yard away.
Well, I think he's bowled another, Michael.
Yes, he's got another.
Big
Same
end.
with his first. Gary might be playing up at these. He might be bidding up for them.
Well, a similar bowl if he picks a jack up.
I don't think he will. I think he'll play a striker some.
You think he's playing weight?
Yeah.
And the body language seems to suggest you're not far off, Michael. Yep. Let Graham know he's playing with weight. And he don't miss many.
He's watching it. And he's missed it. Now then, 11-10 in front now, Wilson. This is what happens when you lead. Put the pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't missed many tonight when he's played with weight, Gary, so Graham will be looking now to build on that. Well, can I put another good lead up?
I think he'll be going thumb peg down to the scoreboard. No, he's going finger peg. He's going on the big touring round peg. Underneath the crown, firing it up to the jack.
It certainly looks far enough.
It's not a mile over if it's anything. It's a real one for me, Jim.
It's a good lead. It's a good lead. And Gary's got to start responding now, hasn't he? Because Graham's the first bowler really to start leading. So
yeah, this is 2 ends on the trot. He's led a reeling.
And Gary's got a bit big. He's got a bit big on land.
And of course, when it's going to new land all the time, and the man with the jack has that bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, and it's using that advantage, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah,
it's using that advantage, and he's bowled two reelings.
Too near. He's not giving Gary any option but to strike for me. I think he'd have rather had one about 2 foot short. And Gary's striking. When he wins, he hits. And he's hit, and he's knocked them all off.
But the one thing in Graham's advantage is the last 2 ends. Gary's having to play weight, and it's got to affect your length when you're firing every other end. Surely it's got to affect. Well, for us normal bowlers, it would do.
For us normal ones, yeah, but I think Graham's going to send the jack a long way now, so Gary will be more comfortable.
Well, he couldn't be further in the corner to send it a long way, could he?
No.
And to be fair, I think if Graham's looking at that end, he won't be surprised to see him hit, would he?
Like
he's just missed one end.
He's
So
just put his second ball too near, but we're not all capable of taking 2 foot out just to make sure you get another. Oh, he's gone on that round peg again. He's trying to settle on a 38 yard round peg.
your telltale sign now how Graham's feeling now. If he can lead again, that's 3 ends on the trot that he's played a really good lead, and he's not a mile away.
It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Wherever it goes, he'll be happy with that.
Significantly better than when you were playing early in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, from halfway. Graham's the one that's showing the will to win, and Gary's just hanging in there with strikes. This one wants to hit. It's just
gotta
going
hang out. It's got to hang out.
Graham would love one 2.5 foot short.
How about one 15 foot short?
Yeah, he's shouting at it. The idea was right, take a bit out, but not that much. Gary's coming to have a look how far it's behind.
Be nearly in his line here,
I was gonna
Michael.
say,
Won't it be nearly in his line?
I'm not sure he can actually see it. He
Yeah.
might be able to cut it out round peg with a lot of, just get him round that ball. But if he misses it, he might hit his own.
Yeah, there's a big danger here, isn't there? That
Yeah.
if it doesn't do what he thinks he's going to do and he hits the back ball,
Mm.
the last thing he wants to leave Graham is a really cheap 2. It's going to take a really good ball to beat that, especially when you've had to walk up to the end and you've gone all the way back.
Well, you know he's going to be playing with weight. He's not going to be trying to lick it with a dead, and he'll be playing a couple of yards over at least.
Which peg though?
I think he'll come thumb peg personally.
Right.
Underneath that short ball. Missed it. 12-10.
So that's 3 ends on the trot. Gary's had to fire last bowl.
And it's 3 ends on the trot that Graham's led one within 6 inch.
And he's back to that bit of land he played earlier, Michael.
Yes, he is.
So we're looking finger peg down to the stand, do we think?
Yeah, that's where he's going to go. Now we'll see whether he's got the confidence to lead one down here now. He is looking more confident. He's more relaxed in his delivery and his mannerisms, apart from that last ball that he played. And this isn't going too bad, Jim.
Yeah, he's starting to look a bit more like the Graham Wilson we know, but that's perhaps, I mean, it's hard to tell from where we're stood, but perhaps a yard off, Michael,
Yeah,
I would think.
I thought it was going to be nearer than that. This is a different road, it's further back. It's going to come on the peg now.
Yeah, it's a good ball.
Yeah,
It's a good ball.
found it as Gary.
Perfect weight.
Graham needs a very good second ball or beat this lead of Gary's.
I'm not sure he's got the legs to do it all.
Because all that hard work that Graham's put into the last few ends might be
I think
nullified if Gary gets another.
looks like we're going to be looking at 12 across here to me. I'd be surprised if Gary don't count a pair.
Well, he's certainly far enough. Needs to hit that. Yes,
Yeah,
he
good
has done
balls,
for 2.
good balls.
12 across.
So he's just gone through a couple of ropey ends, well maybe 3 or 4 ropey ends as Gary. Graham leading well, and he's gone through that and he's still level. So it's
Yeah.
not bad, is it?
No, it's
not bad.
That's the thing with Gary. He can grind out. He stays on the green. He keeps you under pressure. He has you thinking all the time, and you've never got 21 against Gary until you've actually put your hand up for that 21, and he's shaking your hand because he doesn't give you nothing. You've got to earn every point.
And where does Gary play his league bowls now, Michael?
He plays at on a Monday night. He plays at a club called Nimble Nook. On a Tuesday night, he occasionally turns out for Parkfield at Preston for David Waters' team. And then Wednesday night, he plays at Tong Bowling Club in the Manchester Super League. So he doesn't do that much league bowling, really.
Well,
But he has packed in work a few months ago, so he can go out in the afternoons and get some practice if he needs it.
good ball, Graham there. Well, he's going to have to pack one of them nights in when Ben comes along, isn't he?
Yeah, most probably. He's left
Well, has
this.
he left
He's
it?
left it.
He's left it. That is a very unusual bowl for Gary. Can Graham take advantage and restore his 2-point lead? Well, it don't look shabby, Michael.
No, it's got another now, wherever it goes.
Yeah, good bowls.
14-12. This game will be over shortly if they keep getting them in twos. But again, neither of them can settle on anything that they're comfortable with.
They're both very good at taking advantage of the other fella, though, aren't they? You know, if the other fella
Yeah.
doesn't bowl one really close, they're normally looking at a 6-inch or a football, aren't they? So
Correct.
the pressure's on there not to give a two away, aren't they?
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
Of course, you want to win the end, but the last thing you want to do is give 2 chalks away. Well, he's playing that finger peg, Michael, where he played 2 hookers a couple of minutes ago, only for Gary to deposit them both in the gutter.
Yeah, just slightly more to the scoreboard this time. I think he's just
It
brought it in a little bit too much
Yeah,
for me.
it looks tight and a bit short as well. Be disappointed in that, Will Graham. And see if we go into the pattern of the match where Gary absolutely snaps it up first ball.
It's not going to be a brilliant ball. I'm not even sure. Yeah, looks like the marker's saying it's won it. Graham's sent this out. It's on a better road than his first, but it needs to run to get past that short ball. It needs to run.
Just grovelled in.
Won it. Just
Yeah,
sneaked
just made in, yeah. "2 foot off," says Graham. Wouldn't surprise me if Gary played a yard over at this ball.
I think he's going to try and beat it because he's on
I
a
think-
lovely road to beat it. If he's far enough, he wins it certain.
Yes. Ooh,
It's give
no.
up. It's give up.
So
This is what I find about this green, Jim. The perception of distance for
Yeah.
some unknown reason, because it's got a high crown. When you're going down the other side, it looks as though that ball's just crept in. But the deceptive distance there, it's uncanny.
Yeah, and it's a big green, isn't it? So when you're looking from a distance, I'm surprised tonight in a couple of the earlier games where people haven't asked spectators who was in instead, and there's one chalk in it, and it's still difficult to pick a winner, Michael.
I wouldn't like to pick a winner, to be honest.
I mean, the betting before the final was 4-6 Gary, and that's not surprising when he started off as a 2-1 favourite in a 16.
No, you're right. You're right.
With Graham at 5-4. I think Graham started the day at 9-2, and it'll be a long time before you'd seen Graham Wilson 9-2 in a final in Yorkshire with 16 bowlers. But
He was in the hard half as well, Jim. You've got to remember that. Hard half
yeah,
with Callum in it, Ditchfield in
Oh,
it,
the bo-
Dakin in it,
the bottom,
Brian Clark in it.
yeah, the bottom 4 were horrendous.
And
If
he's
you
just
like a
12
bet,
days
yeah.
in Spain without sending a ball. But again, the bookmakers have got it right. They're both in the final.
And a lot of the competitions recently, they've actually gone to form, haven't they, Michael? You know, the big
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
they're actually competing the final. So the likes of Duncan, who are trying to make a few bob, it's the heats betting that they're actually
Yeah,
making the money on now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
This will be a good hit here because this is a bit of difficult land underneath,
Got it.
and he's taking it out clean as a whistle. So what do I know?
He's struck hoping that Graham can't put another one back where it's come
Well,
from.
it looks far enough to me, Michael. It looks far
Yeah,
enough.
well, we can hit that and get in.
Well, it's stopped dead behind the jack, but
It has.
from this angle, it's very difficult to say who was in.
Well, I think it's gone out, but if it had done, Gary would have signalled me now. I think Gary said, I think it's gone out.
Yeah, I think the body language is Gary is that he just likes his own, but I'd be surprised under these lights if Graham ain't going to put the pegs on these. Yeah. Getting into the nitty gritty of the game, you're not going to take any
Yeah.
chances, are you, Michael? Well, they're going to Graham's bowl first. Are you a lover of going to one particular bowl?
I don't think it matters.
You're not
mate.
bothered, Michael?
No.
You don't go with this thing that they get as tight as you can at the first bowl and you won't reach the second?
No.
No, Graham's won
Graham
it.
was in. 16-14, Wilson leads. Now then, this is a time that one of them needs to press that little button on the back and just up a gear for 5 minutes, 2 or 3 ends of top class bowling, and the title will be theirs. But can someone do it?
Well, titles are all very nice. I think the check's more important.
I don't think these two lads bother about the check, Jim, to be perfectly frank with you.
Well, there's a lead you were asking for, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, these two people want titles, they don't want money. I think they've got enough of both for the time being. And Gary's left this, not even challenging.
Big end now. Does Graham try to play one 2 foot away so not to make a target?
Yeah, certainly. Because he knows if he puts it within 2 foot, he knows what's going to happen. Gary will be striking, but has he got one? He's done the same as he did before. He's left it short. If Gary can see it, that's what he'll be doing.
And that's probably the thought in Graham's mind there, isn't it? Don't put one at the side of it and make a bigger target, but count another one, and of course, as a result of that slightly negative thinking, he ain't made another.
Yeah, and like I say, that's 2 or 3 times he's give Gary the opportunity.
And if he hits this
Doesn't like
clean,
it. No,
does he turn his
doesn't
back
like
on it now?
He's got away with it as Graham.
Because if he'd have hit that end clean as a whistle, he will even himself too, won't he?
Yeah, he'd have got back to level. But now it's 17-14 Wilson. What do you think of the crowd here tonight, Jim?
I think it's been really. I think it's been really disappointing. I really feel sorry for Pudsey Club because the way that Andrew runs the competition and the way he's put it on the bait and bowler, and he couldn't have put more effort into running this competition. The catering's been fantastic, the green's been great, but they've been blessed with an awful night of windy shower, and it's been cold, Michael, hasn't it? It's been cold. I mean, you're there in a big overcoat. And
I am. But I remember coming here a few years ago when I think Matt Bauer beat Andy Cairns in the final and the green were underwater and there were hundreds around the green.
Yeah, I mean...
But now it's dropping off year in, year out.
Yeah, I mean, it has been quite disappointing. Not only this competition, you know, round about the Yorkshire area, and I know it's probably hit us later than it's hit some other areas. Brighouse always seem to have a good final for whatever reason. They have a good crowd.
A lot of cover.
Yeah.
A lot of cover at Brighouse.
But it's a real shame tonight for all the members of Pudsey who've put in a load of hard work in that. Perhaps if we've hit 150 at peak, we're probably exaggerating slightly. And you wonder what bowlers want, don't you, really? You know, for £2, you've had 4.5 hours entertainment.
I would think round here now there's about 60 or 70. Yeah. And even normally the club's actually chock-a-block, but it's not. I can actually see there's people in the club, but not as many as normal.
No, if you're wanting a seat in the club, I mean, like I say, you know, I mean, the Bradford League has nearly 1,000 bowlers bowling on a Saturday. That's just Bradford.
Yeah. I also think that Gary's played through at this. He's hoping for a hit. He's underneath. One of the things I think about tonight, I know it's a other miles away, but Spenner's still holding their qualifying. I think when there's a Yorkshire final going on, I think the other handicap should have the night off and let them.
You'd hope there were a couple of organisers
come and sort everything out.
Sit down in the middle of September the year before, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And say, right, this is my finals night.
Yeah.
You keep that clear. When you have your finals night, I make sure I won't run something on the same day.
I know Hillcrest and Clackheaton have done that. Hillcrest stopped their qualifying on Clackheaton final night so that bowlers and spectators can go to both final nights and they don't clash or qualifying.
Well, at 18
it's just something that the organisers, I think, need to sort out to try and get more people coming through the door. That's just my thoughts anyway.
No, and I totally agree with Michael, because I think it only takes maybe an hour and a half of 6 or 7 organisers to sit down, and they can plan a calendar out, especially in the sort of like close area around where we're talking about. I mean, they're all within 3, 4, 5, 6 miles of each other, are they? You're not talking 30 or 40 miles.
No, you're right, Jim. You're right.
Well, Graham's going a massive favourite here. He's 18-14 up, and he's got 2 footballs.
He's decided I'm going to put one with it this time, and not just try and get a second. He's put one right with his first ball. Gary's playing at it. He's 18-14 down. This is a massive ball for Gary.
And he's still looking. He's still
Massive
looking.
ball.
He's still looking.
Got something. He's got one out. Has it?
I'm not sure he has. I'm not sure.
Definitely one to Wilson. And Graham's not sure whether it's 2.
He's desperately trying to find an angle where he can fancy his own ball. And don't we all?
Well, yeah. I think the right hand ball.
I think the body language of Graham is he thinks it's 2. He thinks it's 2, yeah.
Yeah, and Gary kicked it in. He's conceded 2. All but 14, Wilson. Now then, does he go finger peg back across the middle of the green? No, he's going back into the corner. Under the stairs. Looks like finger peg this time.
And if he nails a lead here, Gary's under immense pressure.
Well, it wants to run, but I think this is Graham's forte. He creams them out on the road. He's just not sent it. I'd have been backing a lot of money on Graham getting a real lead there, because that's what his strength is.
And Gary's not short here. He's sent a rambler here, has Gary. But that last yard down there, he's slow, isn't it, Michael?
It is. Graham needs to put 4 foot in his own and miss it.
Well, he's certainly further.
He's looking at it. He wants it to run.
It's far enough.
Ball for a
far
good
enough.
Yes, he's played a real one. That's what I thought his lead would have been.
Gary's asking if it's just one.
Only one.
He's playing weight, is Gary, and this is to keep in the competition. What a fantastic hit. And he's slightly unlucky there, Michael, isn't he? He's slightly unlucky that he's hit it clean as a whistle. And he's taking the jack up.
The jack with it. I know Gary's upset with that one, because he doesn't get upset very often, but he was when he hit that ball and he went onto the jack. But at least the jack went off, and it's give Gary another chance.
Yeah, he's still in the game. Still in the game.
You know, if he'd have missed, they'd have been shaking hands now.
And might he go full in here, do you think?
No.
No?
No, I think he'll stick to about the same length. Where he's comfortable, he's just stroking him out over a certain length. Round peg up and over the crown. It's one of those marks that there's nothing for to back and there's nothing for narrow it, so you've got to be bang on the road and reach it.
Well, the length
looks to be on the narrow side for me,
yeah,
Jim. Narrow and short.
A bit short, yeah. A bit short.
This is further.
I'm not sure it's that much further.
It's further, Jim. Better road and all.
And still perhaps a yard of room left for Graham.
Well, there's something wrong with this. It looks like it's round with his first. Yes, he is. He's on the narrow side.
It's difficult from the angle that me and Michael are stood at, but no, Gary's in.
Well, there's no danger for Gary. He should be able to play up and get another. But he's dragged it round the corner and all. He's gone with Graham's
Yeah, I'll be
first
disappointed
ball.
in that ball, won't he, Gary?
Yeah.
Be disappointed in that ball.
15-20 Wilson leads. Yeah, it's a game of no mistakes now from Gary, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think Graham might think he dodged a bullet there. Looking at where his balls were, he probably thought,
Yeah.
my nearest ball's 5 foot away. But Gary, it's sort of like a reversal of what we were saying earlier on in the game, Michael, now, isn't it? That Gary really needs to nail a lead here.
Yeah, there's no mistakes now. Graham's the one with the right body language. Gary's under the pressure. He's got to lead within a yard every end, at least within a yard.
I'd be surprised if a yard's close enough.
Well,
Surprised,
at least
yeah.
it gives you the chance if it's within a yard. Anything outside a yard, the other fella's going to come in and nail one, I would have thought.
And that looks
Looks
round about that.
Looks about a big yard to me from here. Graham, it's on a good road. Can get round the back of that. Oh, he's got a snick off it and phone in. I think he might have knocked Gary's ball into a bit better road. Gary needs to run.
Yes, he's in the last chance.
He's got to miss that ball now. He's got to miss that ball.
Probably just
Pulled
stayed in.
up.
Probably just stayed in. Graham asking, is it 2? Playing through.
Yeah, well, he knows any hit really. He's watching it. He's underneath. It's John out. 16-20.
16-20.
I think Gary is going to cut away and scrimp and scrape and try and think of somewhere. Maybe up the edge now, the front edge.
Yeah, I think he'll go to his banker mark, up an edge. Try and put one close with the backup plan that if he beats me lead, I'm going to put him in the gutter. Well, it looks like he's whooshed one out to me, Michael.
He needs to pull up
Absolutely
very
whooshed
quickly.
one out, yeah. Again, it's around about that yard, 4 foot that you were talking about.
Well, we're 70 yard away, Jim, and I'm not even sure how far that is. And I don't think this has beat it. This is short. He's got another wherever it goes.
He's after it. He's after it. He likes it a lot more than he liked the first one. Perhaps a foot off, I would have thought.
Graham's put it in, I'll tell you. If he's on a road, he's a give it a hell of a chance. If it's on a road, it's just died.
Ellis won.
17-20.
No comes easy in this game, Michael, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. Thumb peg down the edge.
And he's due a good lead. He's due a good lead, is Gary.
If it stops now, it's all right.
Yeah, it's
just
a better
hung
lead
out
than
a little bit.
A better lead than he's been playing. Some stupid shouting from the sidelines, but the lager's kicking in.
Real ball from Graham. Pressure's all on Gary now. Well, he's reached. If he's gone the road, he's given it a chance.
What a great great effort. Crowd are saying it's in.
Crowd
Graham.
are saying it's won it. The referee is stood there. He hasn't got a clue.
Graham's just sent Gary up.
Gary's told Graham it's won it.
What a good ball under pressure that was, Michael.
That's what I said to you earlier, Jim, about someone playing for your life.
Well, he's right.
Has he left
Oh,
it?
he's died. 1820.
Yeah. Those ends where Graham had 2 and 3 yards to make another and didn't, and coming back to haunt him. And those ends where he put them to near where Gary knocked them off.
Well, he's still a firm favourite at 2018.
Oh, yeah.
He's still a firm favourite, Michael.
But you'd have thought he'd have been off the green by now.
Well, is Gary a bit tight to you?
If it stops, it's alright. It's going further to the gutter, it's fell on its belly. Pressure's coming on now.
Oh.
Pressure's coming on, Jim.
Yeah, he's whooshed one out. Gone maybe 2 yards through. The old scrapper's digging in here, Michael. The scrapper's digging in.
He's lying to go 20 across. It might be, if that's at the side, Graham can play and try and rest it out. He wants to run. He's going to leave it short. Definitely one for Ellis. He's looking. Graham likes his own. They're having a measure, I think. Oh,
Not surprised.
it's all happening here.
It's all happening. There's people shouting for their brass. Now I've got a couple of chances here going to measure. James Hanson, local member.
Is the other one Dean Scarth?
Dean Scarth, a recent recruit to Pudsey Bowling Club.
Is he?
Although I understand he may be leaving on a freebie, hasn't really, hasn't really lived up to expectations, I don't think. Been quiet by his own standards tonight as Dean.
1 to Ellis.
1920.
1920. Now then.
I'd hazard to guess this is the biggest bowl of the night that's just about to be bowled here, Michael. If he nails one, it puts Willie under tremendous pressure.
Yeah, Denise is over there at Gary's shoulder, looking down the rail. It's not a bad one. It's just not pegged. Again, the referee standing right in line of the camera.
It's very consistent. Well, it looks a good pace to me. Looks a good pace, Michael.
Yeah.
I don't know what his road's like, but it looks a good pace.
Well, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I haven't got a clue who's in.
I think the crowd are saying that bowl's in.
Right.
He's got some running to do here.
Run.
He's got some running to do.
It's on a better road.
I think he may have... It's gone in.
I'm not saying he'll have a better chance, but
Well,
you'd have thought
he's
with Graham's
he's 2.5 foot for the title.
technique.
And as Michael said, the referee has just stood bang in the way of our commentary view.
He's striking at it, and he's missed. 20 across. Who'd have thought it?
I certainly wouldn't have done 10 minutes ago. I thought the game were over. I thought the game were over.
Yep. Now then, who wins? I know people say that the man without the jack generally wins, but I know if I was playing, I would always want to send the jack.
Well, certainly Gary would do, because he's going on his duck walk, isn't he? So
Yeah.
he would certainly want to throw there.
I think anything a yard or within is going to be a real bowl now, because it'll look a real one to Graham. It's a bit tight. It's probably a yard, 4 foot off. Graham's
Pace
reached.
looks good. Pace looks good.
Graham's reached here.
Foot behind.
Gary's going to try and beat it.
I think he's whooshed it, Michael. I think he's whooshed it.
Yeah,
What a great
Wilson, 21-20.
Great final. Great
And a
final.
little punch of the air from Graham.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Michael. I've enjoyed it.
A pleasure, Jim. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, let's hope we're both here next year.